Hi guys, we are in the next video, and here we're going to create um, our main class, which is going to be called action tester actually. So here we're going to run our code from this main class, and I'm writing here action tester, and then simply press the finish button. That's it. So now we can start writing here. So we already created our print class, and in this action tester class we're going to implement all the values from the print hello class. We're actually going to call it. But first, let's import the Java AWT toolkit, and let's write here public static void main, and here we're gonna write string args, and this is actually a standard statement, don't get confused from it. Args, and that's it. So now we're gonna make a runnable object. So we talked about this. So now we're going to make our code runnable. So from the runnable class we make a runnable object, new runnable object, and then in all these curly brackets we're going to write our classes, buttons, and so on. So let's write here public void run, and then I'm writing the curly brackets. So here let's write jframe, frame equals to new jframe, and in the brackets I'm going to write abstract action practice, and this is what we're going to do today. We're going to practice the abstract actions. Okay, let's write now frame. So we created already a frame object, set default, close options, and we would like our window, so this will reproduce window, to close when we press the close button. So we will use the object exit on close. That's right. And here we're creating our frame now. Okay, so here we write final action print action equals to new print hello action, and this is actually the class that we already created. Okay, so here we're creating print action object, which is going to be actually object of the class print hello action, and this is how we implement this class here actually. Okay, let's see if there's some error here. So print hello action, let's actually remove this here, and I will just add the whole Java Swing class. So let's write java dot, actually I will write first the AWT event. So here we implement the whole toolkit, not only the different components. In that way would be easier. Okay, here we go. And then let's import the other class, which is Java X Swing. So here we import the Swing packages. And now once we are sure that we have all the Java Swing packages in the AWT, we can be calm that every component that we add in our code will be completely correct. Let's create a J menu bar, and here we'll create menu bar will be equal to new J menu bar. Okay, and then we can write J menu equals to new J menu code 1. So here is how we created in the JFrame menu, which is going to display code 1. Then let's write menu bar dot add menu, and that's it. So here we add our menu in the menu bar, And now let's write menu add new j menu item print action. Okay, so we're gonna make our menu button to perform some action, and you will see how it's done actually when I show you what is going to be displayed. Okay, let's write j2 bar, then we're gonna write toolbar, so we're creating object toolbar of the j2 bar class. This will be equal to new j2 bar, and then we write the brackets. Okay, and after that let's write toolbar dot add new j button, and then in brackets for the j button we're gonna initialize it with some action, with a print action. So the j button, once we press it, okay, it is going to run the print action, and as you can see the print action is related to our other class, which is print hello action. So let's write now another j button enable button. So we are creating enable button, and this is going to be equal to new j button and in brackets enable, okay, semicolon, and then let's write action listener enable action listener. So we're creating action listener which is called enable action listener, and this is going to be equal to new object which is of a type action listener. Well, this is the way that we initialize things in Java. So now let's write in the brackets public void action performed, and in the brackets we're gonna write action event and then action event again. Okay, so this is what's gonna be happening once we select the enable button. And here we would like to print, so we're gonna write print action dot set enabled, and this is going to be equal to true. Okay, and that's it for here. Let's write semicolon, and the next thing we need to do is just to set the enable button. So we're gonna write enable button dot add action listener and enable action listener, and that's it. We're done with the enable button. Okay, so this is the whole initialization for the enable button. And now once we are ready, we can move on to the next type of button, which is the disable button. So let's write j button, okay, disable button, then this will be equal to new j button, and in the j button what we would like to write is disable. So we see the text disable inside this button. It's that simple. And after that we're going to write action listener okay, disable action listener equals to new action listener, and we initialize this in absolutely the same way as the enable button. Okay, then again we write curly bracket, and inside here we're going to write public void action performed, and then inside the brackets action event, and then again action event. That's it. Then let's create another curly bracket, and here we would like to say that if we're using this button, print action dot set enabled true. Sorry, in that case will be false. So here the print action will be false, because obviously the button disables the action. And there is just one more thing left. We will need to add the action listener for the disabled button. So let's try disable button dot add action listener. Okay, and here disable action listener, and that's it. We are ready with the disable button. So now let's create a button that will actually rename our options. We can do this as well. So let's write JButton relabel button equals to new JButton. Okay, and then let's write change label. That's it. So this is going to be written on our button, change label. And here, let's say action listener relabel action. So it's the same thing as the other buttons. Relabel action listener equals to new action listener. So I hope you understand what we are doing here. We are creating a new action listener that is called relabel action listener, and we're going to use this action listener to listen to our actions. So now we write what's going to happen once action is performed, and I'm just copy and paste this here because I'm lazy. So the first line seems to be the same, but the second line I would need to change a bit. So here we can write put value, and this is actually going to be our action. We're going to put a value, and we're going to do action dot name, comma, and here we will write label changed. So we will see this value in our button that we're going to change. You will see how this is actually done. And one last thing, we would need, of course, to add the action listener here as well. So let's write relabel button dot add action listener, and in parentheses we're going to write enable action listener. Relabel action listener, of course. Okay, that's it. Then let's write jpanel button panel equals to new jpanel, and that's it. So here what I'm going to do in the next lines, as you can see, is that I'm configuring our panel, how it's going to look and where the buttons are going to be positioned, and basically adding them. So button panel equals to add enable button semicolon. Then let's write, actually I'm going to copy this. So here we'll write disable button and then relabel button. So we're adding, it's actually very logical. We're adding our buttons in the panel, in the button panel. And after that, let's write frame. If you remember, in the beginning of our code, we created a frame. So in that frame, we're going to set menu bar. So we're going to create menu bar there. And inside this menu bar, we will add the enable, actually the menu bar. This is what we're going to add here, our object menu bar. And then inside the frame, we're going to add another component, which is going to be the toolbar. And let's write comma border layer dot south. Okay, so here we're basically saying in which location we would like our toolbar to be. So then let's add another one. So add So here we want button panel, and this is going to be with dot, so we're accessing the method here. Border layout dot north, or it was actually with capital letters, yes. So north, that's it. Did I make any mistake here? Yes, it was comma, not dot. Yeah, so it's not a method of the button panel, but it's just with comma. So these are the components of the add method, actually. Okay, let's write a semicolon here. That's it. And here let's write frame dot set size 300 to 150. So this is gonna be our size, the size of the frame. Okay, so this is going to be the size of the window that is going to be displayed. And then let's write frame set visible to true. So our frame is of course visible. So let's write now event q dot invoke later. So invoke later, you know what this means already. Invoke later means that doesn't matter how many times we press the buttons, the window will still be displayed. Okay, we will not have some result of this action. However, we're going to keep the window, but we're going to display some messages, and you will see how this is done. Okay, let's see the errors that I had. So here we have an error. Let's see what it is actually. So here I'm going to remove this and just import the java.swing. Okay, because we probably didn't have some packages here. Okay, now everything works, as you can see. We don't have any errors, so we can do nothing else except running the code now. So let's run our Java application and let's see what is going to actually be displayed. Okay, let me drag it because I have two screens on this computer. So this is the window that we have. This is the window that we developed by ourselves. So when we press the enable button, then the print button is displayed and we can see the hello world. Okay, so here if we press the disable button, then the print button is not enabled. And also from the code one over there, we cannot do anything. Okay, so this is how we disable. But let's press change label. So you can see that now we change the label of the button in the bottom menu. You can see here where in the code we wrote change label, and now we see this displayed exactly here. Quite simple. And now when we enable it, we can press it and we display the message hello world, which is from the print hello action class. It is really simple, and this was your first application. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next section.